What up, peoples? I hate to say it, but it looks like we got swerved. Wasn't that the Ashton Kutcher show? Wasn't it swerved? Wasn't that it?
I think we could say that.
Well, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. Wasn't that the show? Wasn't it the title Swerve on MTV when they was punking WWE people?
I don't remember that.
How do you not remember the show back in the day?
Because I wasn't really watching a lot of MTV back in the day.
Because he's a mark. God damn.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeet. Truth is back. And what better way, I'm quite sure, was negotiated by one man and one man only. The birthday boy, the Nubians of the Sumos, rocking the best gift that he could ever give us, the full sumo pronunciation of his t-shirt, about to crack open some Australian for beer. Got his supergar lit up, already fired up, ready to go ahead and puff. 2 words, 1 letter, smoke, yeet. Nubian Sumo, thank you for bringing truth back to us. Happy birthday.
The start of hopefully what will be the heel era of our truth.
You think so?
I hope so. But then again, this could just be a one-off.
Could be something. Could be nothing. They got me. I shown up. I mean, everything was looking like he was going to TNA or somewhere.
Well, I read somewhere that he might do this tonight. But, I didn't pay it too much attention just in case it actually happened. So I'm kind of happy. I was kind of happy it did. But we'll see what happens.
Gives me hope that Truth could be Cena's last opponent and take the belt off of him.
Well, he doesn't have to be Cena's last opponent to take the belt off of him.
Almost give me hope. Almost give me hope.
Well,
it probably ends up being Cody.
But before we get too deep in, I got to say
speaking of taking belts off of people.
I wasn't going to go there just yet, but okay. Since you want to say something, since you said that, let me go ahead and just tell you. Yes. Tonight. Big Gold is returned home.
That was a technicality.
Money in the Bank champion is home.
The girls pulled it out for him.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
Woo!
Go ahead and get all of it in there. Get all of it in there.
Woo!
Sad part is Sumo. We know we're not going to see an opportunity for the belt in 6 months?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It may be that long. I don't know. But
somebody's not a fighting champion. But go ahead.
Before you acknowledge me, I want to acknowledge the Nubian Sumo on his day. And I think the greatest birthday present I could give you is me as the champion. So I think this is just a great birthday present for you. And I am honored that it happened on such a glorious day, because a gentleman like yourself, with everything that I've learned from you over these past few years, I learned how to pick from you, and I learned what it is to be a champion. And I'm a champion. So, yeah, happy birthday, Sumo. This for you, man. This for you. This for you.
So you saying tonight is my fault?
Yep.
I'll accept that.
You know what?
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm going dark tonight.
My beautiful face is the only thing everybody sees tonight.
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm trying to get something straight real quick. Where y'all want to start at, man? Because I gotta be honest. This had to be a pretty damn good PLE. Not even gonna lie. I was into it from start to finish.
Well, I have to say the whole day was pretty good. Because I wound up watching Worlds Collide, and I know you got some things you want to say about that later, but we'll get into. But the Worlds Collide show to me was great. I mean, I was expecting a lot of WWE to be included, which it was. I mean, it was pretty much a WWE show. But they did incorporate a lot of AAA aspects that I wasn't expecting them to keep. The fact that they had Conan on commentary, I was actually hoping for Hugo Savinovich, but Conan did a good job on commentary with Corey Graves. The fact that they brought in Mr. Iguana, along with Octagon Jr. and Aerostar for that 6-man tag against Legado El Fantasma, and all of the history that they brought up. I mean, all the help, because Conan, the whole show was talking about giving different stories about the different wrestlers, was talking about different things that happened in AAA history that coincided with the match that he was calling. So, I mean, it was good. It was just good. And no bathroom breaks. I had no bathroom breaks since 3:00, which is weird for me. I at least have one. But at least one match where I'm like, I ain't really into it. But there was not one match that I didn't feel like I wasn't into the whole night, the whole day. So WWE did a good job this day.
I'm glad you got your birthday money's worth. Hopefully you peed between that and Money in the Bank. Your old bladder.
I had an hour and a half to relieve myself. Yeah. So yeah. After all the moonshine and the beer I've been drinking all day.
Where Raj at? Raj ain't over there going ham with you?
Raj is in New York right now. With his daughter. His daughter. Okay. And I may get in trouble with him for telling business, but this is a proud moment. This is something to brag about. His daughter, who we won't say her name online, but we will call her Ladybug, because that's what I call her. She is a sophomore or ended her sophomore year at a prestigious college in Atlanta.
Okay.
And she has a internship with the New York Liberty and the Brooklyn Nets this summer.
Oh wow!
So she just came off of a internship with the Atlanta Falcons.
She was in sports medicine.
Actually, her actual major is documentary filmmaking.
Oh, okay.
But she's really heavy into social media, which is what her internships are for. It was the social media.
Okay.
So she's been doing some real good things, real big things, since she started school. So since she started college.
From Flowery Branch, Georgia, out to New York City.
No, she was pretty much working out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, really? So she wasn't at the workout?
She wasn't at the headquarters, but she had access to pretty much everything.
That's even better.
They sent her to Flowery Branch to do some photo shots for the websites and different things. And so yeah, she was all over the place, and she's probably do the same thing while she's in New York for the summer.
I would imagine that next NFL draft, Raj may be there. Shoot, you may be there too. Sounds like that's the trajectory she's on.
We'll have to see.
Or NBA draft, for that matter.
We'll have to see.
That's pretty exciting. Well,
congratulations.
We'll
see what she puts together for us.
That's a great gift for him with this being Father's Day month. So, you know, when your kids can do something good enough, hopefully that they can retire you. Mm-hmm. Like, you ain't got to work no more, Oos. So
that is amazing awesome to hear, man. And
yep.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. We're really proud of her.
Shout out to Ladybug.
Because we tell her all the time, we like, you doing stuff. You did stuff walking into college we never thought about in 4 years of being in college. So
Sam says happy birthday. Not to turn gears, but got to make sure you get your flowers out there. Mike says, yo, on the as you can see that the Nubian Sumo birthday's special. And then Sam, any win story is a win for everybody. We need more wins as a human race.
Agreed.
So I think it's also a big win that, you know, Sumo did go to the bathroom. So, you know, that's a plus.
Everything came out properly, no problems.
No, he's been working at it for quite some time. So yeah, the liver is still functional, ladies and gentlemen. Barely, but it's still functional. So I guess we might as well.
Not for the lack of fucking it up, but hey, you know.
Go ahead and take a couple steps and speak some Australian. And then, even though I set you up for it, you've got to give us the official pronunciation of the T-shirt.
Well, this isn't the one that you like. This is the La Facción Ingobernable.
I just wanted the bottom part. I know it's not. I just want you to go ahead and roll the R and give us that, you know, as close as we can get. So I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I'm happy with that. You know, trying to get you all your spots. But we're about to go into Money in the Bank conference. Can I get there? Can you wait a minute? God dang, he wasn't even here last week.
Hold fast. Hold up.
He wasn't even here last week, you know. No, ain't no hold up. I'm trying to hit the button.
I was working.
I got you. Even though you can't see him because this is a Nubian Sumo birthday special, KG is here somewhere in the anals of the building, and he's got some beef. So, and some other stuff you want to talk about, but more specifically, he got some beef. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, he had a transition into his segment properly. KG, take it away.
Oh, WWE, AAA, anybody else that was involved in this Worlds Collide, pay me my money. I've been talking about having a pay-per-view or an event called All Worlds Collide for over 5 years, talking about maybe 6 years. It's on wax. It's in the books. You can go back and listen to all the Wrestlemaniacs when I first started talking about it. To know that they put this together, and it wasn't exactly how my vision was, but however, you put it together the way that it was supposed to be done. And I got nothing. I didn't get a check in the mail. I didn't get an acknowledgement. I didn't get anything. So yeah, I got fucking beef. I want respect. I want acknowledgement. I want something that got at least 4 to 5 zeros behind it, and then the decimal point. You know, pay me for my idea. Just like you should pay the Nubian Sumo for his idea, the People's Choice Don Rodriguez for his idea. We've come up with ideas on this show that WWE, AEW, TNA, people have used our ideas.
They can't afford it, KG.
I don't give two good goddamn on
Oh,
shit.
now they can.
TKO is broke. They can't afford it.
Now they should be able to. They got all these cuts and whatnot. Now they talking about putting sponsors on people's ring gear.
Yeah.
They got money.
Hey, I know Vince is rolling over in his grave.
They got $150,000 bid to have Saudi Arabia get WrestleMania.
Well, I never seen the Money in the Bank briefcase with a sponsor's logo on it.
Yeah, Cash App.
Today.
Of all places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today. What was that? 6 sponsors on the ring?
It's either 5 or 6.
6, 7-Up was, I mean, not 7-Up, 7-Eleven was slid in there, but there was 6.
And they weren't imposed either.
No,
nope. You got Slim Jim on the, even though they wasn't on these tables today, but Slim Jim on the tables.
Prime on the side.
Prime on the side. Fireball on the ladders.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Elden Ring Night Reign in the middle. Yep. Shout out to Dario for that, because that's the game he's been streaming for 6 hours at a time.
I heard they putting Jordan Grace in it.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, okay.
But I want my money, man. That's all I want. I just want my money.
Why are you trying to get your money? Sam is also, reflecting upon when he had some issues in the lower hemisphere. Sumo, we'll let you read that.
I don't know if I want to.
This is one of those Sam specials right there. I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know.
Lord have mercy. Have mercy, oh my.
Just those first 5 words. I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Hey Sam, I'm not sure. Well, actually, I do know what a booty hole is, but for this situation, I don't think it's gonna match. Oh man! So even on your birthday, Sumo, you got a Sam special, all the way from wherever. Whatever, however, Sam dropped a gem for you, my friend. So, again, everybody's paying dividends on your birthday extravaganza. And Sam, don't expect a check. I'm still waiting for one. Still waiting. Gee, I'd like to get a bounce check at this point. Give me the Paul Heyman special. I'll take that. All right, KG, go ahead and tell us how you freaking won the daggone belt and what matches and all that crap.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Maybe digging a couple.
First up, Women's Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, Stephanie Valkyrie. Sumo and the People's Choice picked Stephanie Valkyrie. I picked the winner, of course, in Naomi.
That wasn't in nobody's bingo card for 2025. I can tell you that.
It wasn't mine.
You picked it because you probably hit the button wrong.
No.
What was your justification on Naomi winning the Money in the Bank?
You got to think about this. And I had to put my Don Rodriguez storytelling hat on. Think about it like this. You want this Naomi and Jade thing to go far? How can you make that go far if you don't make Naomi relevant? How do you make her relevant? Make her win Money in the Bank. Somehow, some way along the line, Jade's going to get a title shot. Jade's going to win. Naomi's going to cash in. It's like a powder keg hitting sparks, man. It's going to be an inferno with that. I'm just thinking long term. Who benefits the most right now? Rhea Ripley's still over if she doesn't have the belt. Alexa Bliss just coming back. They're not going to give her the belt right away. Julia, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Roxanne Perez, what does it benefit them to have a title shot, let alone a belt? It doesn't.
Do you say the same thing about Tiffany Stratton? Tiffany Stratton was brand new in the game then too.
And here we are with a PLE. Where was Tiffany Stratton at on this PLE?
Okay. Sound logic, Sumo. You may actually be learning. The kid may be finally catching on to something.
Yeah, he showed his work on that one. You know,
I kicked out.
I thought it was affirmative action hire, to be honest with you.
The DEI.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, well, if truth really is, they got rid of truth, then this is to appease the masses. They give like, well, they did give Naomi Money in the Bank. So that's what I thought until the end of the pay-per-view. And I was like, oh, I guess maybe they do have a plan for her.
But think about this. How long has it been since Naomi has won a world championship? What's it been? 12 years?
I don't know. I'm still struggling to remember. It was a long time ago.
Has it been that long?
Yep.
I remember at one point in time we were knocking on 11. And I think that was before she left and went to TNA.
Yeah. It was before she was gone. That was because she win the Royal Rumble that year? And then challenge? Yeah, it was a long time ago. God dang.
I believe she did.
Like, there was 3 members of the New Day at that point. That's how long ago that was. Francesca number 1 was a part of the New Day. So that's been some time. But I'm not mad at it. You know, if I had to take the L and lose the championship on the back of Naomi getting the Money in the Bank briefcase, truthfully, I could take that. No questions on that. I could take that. So that gave you technically the win, because if I remember correctly, everything else went pretty much right down the board. Even we could have almost tied, KG and I, if the men's Money in the Bank match would have went my way.
Oh, well, hell, it was about to go my way.
No, I knew it wasn't gonna go your way. Who'd you have for the men's Money in the Bank?
I had Solo. You had LA Knight.
Right.
Could you do that a little bit louder? You had LA Knight.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Sumo had Seth Rollins, so he pulls out the W with that. I had Solo. Solo was right there to win, and Jacob just stabbed him in the goddamn back.
He stabbed him in the back.
As he should have.
Solo stabbed Jacob in the back. Did you not see SmackDown?
I got it. I got it on the DVRs. I gotta watch it.
See,
but I didn't think it was gonna go down like
Solo. That. You wouldn't have picked Solo.
Yeah, if you'd watched SmackDown, you wouldn't have picked Solo.
Damn.
Tragedy.
Yeah.
Tragedy. If you'd have watched
SmackDown, I actually thought LA Knight was gonna take it too.
So watching these goddamn shows. Give me my belt back. How about that? Cash me outside.
Well, don't
the baby style. But go ahead, KG. You're doing a good job. Keep it going. You're the champ. Keep it going.
Well, I mean, in this match, you look at it. I really didn't, and this is my thinking. El Grande Americano. Who really had him winning that? Who really had Chad Gable winning this?
Chad Gable.
Andrade, not happening. Penta might have had an outside chance. Speaking of which, I need a little help right now. Hold on. One of y'all, Lovey, I need you to tune into the show real quick.
Oh Lord, he
I
about
need you
to
to
put
explain
himself over.
Sumo.
Oh Lord, he about to put himself over. Here come the Ghost Rider.
No, I'm not gonna put myself over. I need Sumo to explain something because I want to make sure I explained it right. She asked me a question, and I was trying to explain about luchadors. Now, with luchadors, you wrestle under a mask, and that's your persona, but you never can take your mask off. But if you lose your mask in the United States, you can't go back to Mexico and wrestle with the mask, correct, Sumo?
The rule is if you lose your mask anywhere, you're not supposed to be able to put it back on. But there have been exceptions to the rule, i.e., Rey Mysterio. Remember, Rey Mysterio lost his mask to Kevin Nash in WCW.
And that was what, late 90s?
Yeah. That's during the Filthy Animals time.
Right. Because
we were talking about
WWE.
When he came to WWE, they were just like, well, revisionist history, you know, we don't recognize anybody else anyway, so put the mask back on, no harm, no foul. But by right, he's not supposed to be wearing his mask.
He's the exception to the rule, because she was asking me about the mask, and I was telling her that that's who you are, in the ring, outside of the ring, everything.
Right.
That's who you are. Nobody knows your identity. And also, like, because I explained it with if you were wrestling as Tiger Mask and you went to Japan and you lost a mask versus mask match, you're unmasked. You can no longer wrestle as Tiger Mask.
Right. Now, it has been relaxed a little bit because Penta has actually been seen outside of the ring without his mask on.
Really?
There are pictures of I have seen pictures of him.
Yep.
Out in public without his mask on.
Did not know that.
So yeah, I mean it kind of depends on the person and how much they actually care about it. You know,
I think that lucha kayfabe is also done too.
What do you mean?
Just like what you said. Remember, back in the day, that had been unheard of for a luchador to take their mask off.
Oh yeah,
just walk around in public, not lose it, but just not wear it. But
there are some wrestlers whose wives don't even know what they look like outside of their masks.
Yeah. So I think kayfabe is affected all across the board. The sign of the social times. Nobody's really holding to the old carny rules as heavy as they used to.
Right. I mean, like kayfabe has changed that around.
I knew Sam. I knew you was gonna go there. This is not the way. Oh Lord. I can smell that Mandalorian reference coming. But do you think now? Well, do you think it matters now?
It still matters. I mean, it still matters because see, you have the importance of the mask versus mask match, especially in Mexico. So the mask versus mask, the hair versus hair, mask versus hair, those matches are just as important as a cage match in the United States. Those are like last ditch. We can't do anything else but this to end this feud match.
Yeah, but those are kind of dead because even like retirement matches aren't really retirement matches anymore.
Right. A retirement match.
All you got to do is retire from the
company.
Yep, just go to the next. Start wrestling again.
So yeah, I mean, but like I said, it kind of depends on the person, depends on the company they work for. What happens now? With AAA and CMLL, it's serious. The mask is serious. So
Japan protects its product.
Japan does too, but you don't see as many masked wrestlers in Japan as you do in Mexico. There aren't as many as there were back in the day in Japan. There are some, but not as many as they used to be.
Would you say that Japan is probably the last great location for kayfabe? And I don't mean so much as the gimmicks. I mean more so as the wrestling style. because they hold to that certain style that you can't do it anywhere else unless you're wrestling somebody that understands or was born or trained and experienced that style. We've seen them come over and it just doesn't mesh well.
Well, you like again, that depends on the company because you got New Japan who will deal with like a traditional Japanese style, but then they also deal with strong style. But then DDT has a more relaxed, high flyer style, more Mexican lucha libre, and then Pro Wrestling Noah is does Japan style, strong style, but they also get into King of Sport a lot because they have a lot of King of Sport guys, British guys come over and wrestle for Pro Wrestling Noah. So it depends on the company and who you're dealing with. The thing they're starting to relax a little bit more, especially in New Japan, because they're starting to do stipulation matches and gimmick matches. You didn't really see that back in the day, but now in New Japan, depending on the situation, you might get a cage match. You might get a 3-way, 4-way match where you didn't get those before. You might get multi-man tag team matches, but singles matches they didn't really do 3 ways and 4 ways and stuff like that. So and they're starting to move into that a little bit more. So it's starting to mesh. It's starting to meld a little bit,
Okay.
So like I said, it depends on the company and who you're dealing with.
Okay. Sam, I hope you're enjoying this. I know last week you had some questions about other promotions, and now you got on his birthday extravaganza. Nubian Sumo dropping some kayfabe knowledge from New Japan and El Mexico. Yeah, seems like it. A good. Even though that's a little on the extreme side, but there is a lot of resurgence. I guess the most recent one, Sumo, we could agree, is La Parca.
Well, yeah, this is like the third. Well,
it's the fourth, right? Fourth La Parca.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at La Parca as La Parca,
right,
this will be like the second iteration because you have the original, then you had his son El Hijo de La Parca, but then then there was L.A. Park because the original La Parca left AAA and came to the United States to wrestle for WCW, and there was a lawsuit about the trademark. So AAA, instead of trying to fight for the trademark, they just said, okay, we'll just put up L.A. Park instead of La Parca.
Right.
And then when La Parca came back to AAA, there was a match between La Parca and L.A. Park to see who was the real one. And La Parca wound up winning that match. So you don't have any more La Parca, L.A. Park. But the original La Parca died, and now you have the new iteration of La Parca. So the new version that's out that's here now.
Yeah, he seems like a good age. I'd probably give him about his 30s, early 30s. Pretty decent shape.
Late 20s, early 30s, I would say.
Decent shape, so I think he can carry that for a while.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, barn. No injuries or anything like that. So I've always been a fan. But the only thing is, there's still only one chairman of WCW. So when I was watching the reintroduction of La Parca, I was like, darn it, we got the thriller thing going, but where's the chair? That's the only thing I miss. Him jumping up on the chair in the middle of the ring, doing his little La Parca dance. Man, that was a great time. La Parca, El Dandy, Billy Kidman, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, Ciclope. I can't remember the guy that looked like a pumpkin. I can't remember his name.
There was a Hollow Wicked.
No. It was something basic, but he had the pumpkin mask, the jack-o'-lantern mask, basically. It was him. Who else? I think
I believe Silver King was around.
Silver King, yep. Silver King.
And who was the guy? No, Crazy. Super Crazy was ECW.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
One more person that
you said Psychosis, right?
Nope, I didn't say that's my boy Psychosis. Yep. I was the 10 crazy,
but I believe Cyclope is the one you're talking about with the Halloween mask.
That may have been him. Okay. Yeah, that was the 10 strong out of WC. I'm surprised I still remember all those names. Out of WCW right there. That was the best division before Paul Heyman started, taking people over there to ECW and the Radicals left and everything else. Hour 2 of Nitro. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Conan. Absolutely right, Sam. Conan. He was part of that as well. Even though I pretty much looped Conan in with the NWO, and that was his lane versus the luchadors in that core hour 2. You knew that's what you waited for. You're gonna have your major stuff in the beginning, your main event with the NWO at the end and Sting and all that. But hour 2 belonged to Lucha Libre, DDP, and Buff Bagwell. And Scott Flash Norton. And, well, technically, I guess. Well, no, because our 1 was Ernest the Cat Miller. Johnny B. Bad until he left. You saw him a lot. And for a little stint, Raven and the Flock lived in hour 2 as well. But, that was an easy. Well, that's a good question. Would you count Tajiri?
Would I count Tajiri as a luchador? No.
Okay. Because I know he trained in Mexico. Right.
He did some training in Mexico. I believe he trained under Ultimo Guerrero.
Oh, Ultimo Dragon. How did I forget about the Ultimo Dragon? And the Dragon Sleeper. That was another one. Even though technically that's we could count him.
But
right?
Tajiri started out in Japan and got his basic training under Keiji Muto.
Right.
So I wouldn't consider Tajiri a luchador.
Well, let me ask you this: with this AAA deal, would it be smart? SmackDown is still holding it out 3 hours. Raw's 3 hours to start sliding in some Lucha Libre. Just think about it. Off the top of the dome, I named 8 successfully from 23 years ago.
I mean,
how
you
would
can
you feel about Raw
you
being a home of Lucha Libre?
You can slide some in and out, if you wanted to. I mean, you don't want to really take away from the because AAA has their own show,
right?
So you don't want to take away from them. But you could slide some folks in just to give, especially when it's time for them to have a big show like the Rey de Reyes show that they have, or Triple Mania, or what's the other one? I was getting ready to say Fantastica Mania, but that's CMLL. There are a few shows that they have, just like big shows, just like the other show companies have. You can slide some in and out, in and here and there, just to promote those other shows.
Right.
I can see that, but just something on a regular basis, because
you said maybe what about NXT? What if that's stationary?
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Put them on all the platforms.
Well, I was thinking main roster
and NXT. Put them on Evolve.
Yeah.
You got because you got Evolve guys wrestling in Evolve guys wrestling in NXT and in SmackDown now. So so why not? Have everybody everywhere.
Yeah.
Send some of them over there because right now they were talking about the Triple Mania that's going to happen in August. They were talking about how TNA was going to be involved. Who says somebody from NXT is not going to be on that show or Evolve or
Well, we
even
know Trick Williams technically possibly could be. That's
Who?
at least one.
Who?
If they don't take the belt off Trick, that guarantees you one.
They could have Trick defend the belt that Triple Mania. That's possible. They can have him and Laredo Kid because Laredo Kid is their middleweight champion, or they could put him against Macias, who's their Latin American champion.
Yeah,
you know that would be him wrestling Macias would be just like him wrestling Obafemi without that sissified bop.
Oh Lord, there you go. They love the bop. But let me ask you this. I left one name out intentionally for hour 2. And that's because in my head, he's more of an entertainer than he was a luchador. So with that preface, do you think it's time for Jericho to come home and then through the WWE start being back into AAA, working towards his retirement run? And then you have the Lionheart come back in AAA, and then Jericho finishing up as Chris Jericho in WWE towards the Hall of Fame.
Well, it's an eventuality that he's gonna end up coming back, if nothing else, but to be put in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he says he's open to it.
Yeah, so you can do anything you want to with him once you get him in here. Once you get him in there. So
I don't think Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan has outgrown Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And really, AEW has outgrown Chris Jericho, and not in a bad way. Is that I don't see any other reinvention that Jericho can do other than the second coming of the Jericho Countdown. That's the only thing that could just
you got no reason to do the countdown anymore. I mean, the countdown.
There's always a reason to do the countdown. The way they like to subtle drop things in, look at Bray Wyatt's entire setup. All they got to do is some weird picture-in-picture, you just start seeing numbers just count down every week. Come on now. Speculation looming. And then this one has to go to 1, though.
Oh, my gosh.
They can't end it before, the turn of the century like they did with, his initial debut. They have to let it go to 1. Best Unkept Secret, Part 2. But Jericho comes back. Code Rain comes back. Break Down the Walls comes back. KG, this is where you could definitely chime in on this one. I know you would love to see it. Make you want to go ahead and go WWE to Music Volume 4.
I would love to see that come back, but would that go over with this new generation of fans because they're so used to Judas that they sing along and they love it so much?
Yeah, but I think they've forgotten about Judas now. You haven't heard Judas in a long time.
Yeah, because Judas ran its course. But Break Down the Walls, timeless.
Yeah,
everybody.
Just like they brought back Aleister Black with his old interest music.
And Mark, come on now.
They would bring Jericho back with Break the Walls Down.
Oh yeah. And full regalia.
Or have him do his own version of Break the Walls Down.
I don't know if I would feel that though. Not taking anything away from Fozzy. But it's just something about the cadence and the tone of Break the Walls Down. Like, man, that just thinking about it right now, it's already playing in the head. Boy, I'm ready.
The thing about it is though, with that being a Jim Johnston song, wouldn't that be an issue?
No, it's a WWE song. They own it. Extra own it.
Yeah, they could. Okay.
Extra own it. Like Undertaker's theme song, Extra own it. Johnston is just tied into, the author of it, and coming with it like DX and all that stuff, but it's extra WWE. There's certain ones that are so WWE-fied that they can't go anywhere else. If you blink wrong, that you're going to get one of them letters, cease and desist, or we're going to sue the crap out of you for using it without our permission. So he could come back. He could do everything. Because I think that's where he needs to end up. I don't know where he stands on his contract terms and time. I could have swore I saw that he's coming towards the end of it this year.
I believe it's sometime this year. Yeah.
So, I think by Royal Rumble, potentially, Jericho could go. He's done his thing in AEW. There's nothing left for him to do. Nothing left for him to prove. But for him to come back before Cena's done or right after Cena's done, to have a transition and Jericho comes back, Cena's done, then you have Jericho and CM Punk at the same place at the same time. Jericho and Triple H and Stephanie, hopefully same place, same time, with some promos. I mean, that's at least another 6 months to a year. Saudi Arabia would pay through the roof to have Chris Jericho come out to break the walls. That's $1 billion check right there for whatever Riyadh show or wherever else they want to have. That's the one white whale that they can't get yet. Then it got Shawn Michaels back. Then it got Goldberg back. Then it got DX back. Then it got The Undertaker. Then it got Brock Lesnar. But they have not had Chris Jericho.
Speaking of Shawn Michaels, I guess y'all didn't see Worlds Collide. Y'all didn't watch Worlds Collide.
I didn't, but I saw that image of Shawn and
he looked like they microwaved him before they put him out there for the national anthem.
Yeah, they did.
He looked like death warmed over.
HBK is not going to look like HBK without.
Because I had to look at him. I was like, is that HBK?
It's hot down there, man. It's just hot down there. That's all it is. It's hot down there. And Sam's talking about he wouldn't mind seeing another gimmick lumberjack match or something with recent Hall of Famers and legends. If they did do something like that, I think that would be a Saturday night's main event type of deal. That's where they could put that in. I wouldn't want to see that at a WrestleMania because everybody's too old. And, the ones, I mean, you only have a couple people. It's going to cost a lot, but Stone Cold, Undertaker could be a lumberjack. It'd have to make sense, though. Why would you need a lumberjack match with Hall of Famers? Unless it's Goldberg's last match and the Saudis are paying for it, which he said he wanted to retire in Saudi Arabia, but who would he be going up against that would warrant a lumberjack match?
He got hurt anyway, so we don't even know when that retirement match is going to be now.
That's okay. His son's coming along after all this time, so that could happen.
All that dancing he's been doing over at the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. KG, you quiet over there. What's your thoughts?
I don't want to see not another Goldberg match, retirement match, nothing like that. Let him ride off into the sunset so he can get in the Hall of Fame and he just get his Legends contract where he don't just show up anymore. Like I'm pretty much good. I could deal with as much Goldberg right now in the squared circle as I can deal with Hogan in any capacity. I'm good. I don't give a damn how much the Saudis are willing to pay. I'm good.
Come on, you wouldn't want to see Goldberg one more time?
Nah.
The music
actually,
one more
I wouldn't.
time?
I would not.
All right, well, you may be in a party in an army of one right there. Everybody else, I wouldn't mind seeing Goldberg one more time. If he can still do it. There's not a lot of them that still can.
I'll see Goldberg one more time in a 4-post massacre.
Oh, God.
Yes. I used to bet that.
Him laying in the middle of the ring with Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu.
Oh no.
Who else? Who else would be good coming off the top rope?
RVD?
Nah.
I'll take another match with RVD. Give me another RVD match.
Oh shoot. Yeah. KG would definitely want to see Goldberg if the Saudis wrote that ideas check on behalf of the WWE. He'd be like, heck yeah.
No.
Yes,
See, I ride with Perry on this one.
They would fly you over and you'd be sitting next to green shirt guy.
No, I'm good, but I ride with Perry on this one. When it comes to Saudi Arabia, I'm not really interested in blood money.
Well, you don't want to go to Dubai though?
No, I'm good.
Steve Harvey said it was okay.
Well, Steve Harvey can say it's okay. It's a lot of women that say it's okay.
Steve Harvey is approved.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of women that say it's okay to go to Dubai too, but the things they do in Dubai, I have no interest in doing.
For different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. I have no interest in doing that.
Yeah,
I'm good. I don't like dogs like that, and I don't like eating things that. I'm good.
They start playing that Price is Right song, talking about come on over to Dubai. We pay you a lot of money, about $15 billion. Come on over, KG. We got your check.
What do I always tell you? I've said this so many times on this show. What is the profit of man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? My soul has no price tag on it.
You gave your soul to Jordan Grace about 4 or 5 packages ago, but you still show up at the door.
And my blackness won't let me be a sellout.
Dr. Umar said that you need to stop delivering the snow bunnies.
I don't know nothing you talking about.
This coming from a guy who opens our show every week with snow bunnies.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I like the wintertime. Don't get mad at me because I'm trying to, make sure y'all get to see, a white Christmas.
He said if it ain't snowing, he ain't going.
I'm doing y'all a service. How many? Actually, we should have had quadruple the snow bunnies for your birthday.
No, I'm good.
Dang.
Yeah, he actually.
I believe our champion would have the proper picture for me on deck for my birthday.
He ain't got the proper picture because he ain't even looking for it. He over there eating. But I'll do it for you.
There it is. There it is.
You worried about me eating. I'm trying to make sure the Nubian Sumo eat.
There you go. You just made the list. There you go. All right, fellas. I can't be playing around with y'all because Nubian Sumo, he getting old. We only got him for about 35, 45 more minutes, and then he's going to wither off in the dust. So we want to make sure that he gets to finish that cigar. He's got him some Australian for beer.
So I've survived the finger snap, so I'm good.
Yeah, I don't even know how you did that. Thanos must have been pissed. It's like, God dang, what kind of magic does this fool have that the snap don't work?
Well, hold on before we get out of here.
Oh, you got something?
Let's run this down real quick. Hold on.
We running.
We did the men's the tag team. Well, I'm sorry, the women's IC championship match. Myself and People's Choice Don Rodriguez picked the man, Becky Lynch. Nubian Sumo picked Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch won, tried to embarrass Lyra, and got German suplex about the place. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
So that right there actually sealed my win all the way around the board. So it was 3-2 to 1.
There ain't no dang 3. It was 2-2-1.
No, I won. I got Becky Lynch, Cody and Jay, That's 2.
Oh, that's right. I
And then
forgot about
Naomi, that was 3.
that. Yeah, whatever. Anybody talking to you?
And then of course Cody
Yeah, but
and
we
Jay.
all pick Cody and Cody and Jay. So
Yeah,
That's
that was
fine.
pretty much
that
a
one don't
wash.
really
That was
count.
pretty much a wash.
It was already wrapped
You
up.
got
after
two.
that.
You got two. Two is enough.
That's
We
right.
got
That's
you to
fine.
win.
It was all wrapped up. So, but R-Truth coming back. I did not have that on my bingo card. I hear from Chris Van Vliet that they have a new shirt up on WWE Shop that says Ron Killings, not R-Truth. Ron Killings.
So they signed Ron Killings and released R-Truth.
Do
That's
what
some
you
WWE
do what
mess
you
right
will
there.
with that information.
That's a WWE mess right there.
Well, no, somebody might be getting their birthday wish because they said it 2 weeks ago. They might be getting their birthday wish.
Yeah, we getting that heat. We getting Ron the Truth Killers the heel. Yeah, we getting that TNA Ron the Truth Killers.
So
The NWA World Champion Ron Killers. That's what we about to get.
they say Nash don't like the simple fact of how he plays on TV. Nash don't like it.
Nash don't like the way R-Truth is on TV.
Yeah,
I agree. They play him like they're making him the clown. They've been making him a clown since K-Quick.
Well,
But
I
now
think
what
K
you-
Quick was the clown. I think R-Truth was a character that they could utilize, and he was cool with being utilized, however, because he could just make it work.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah,
he had a
that's the way
stick,
he gonna get
but I
his
think that
bag.
was
Why
just a
not?
character.
He been
Quick
working
was-
that bag for 20 years, so why not?
Yeah,
Okay,
K Quick
cool.
was a preamble to John Cena. We wouldn't have John Cena. Well, we don't have the Dr. Thugonomics if it wasn't for R-Truth.
I don't know about that.
Come on now. R-Truth coming out, rapping, getting rowdy, doing all that stuff. And the next thing you know, who do you think he was rapping with on the back of the bus? Truth. Freestyling in them. Truth and the Usos.
Well, all I know is I'll be glad to know that they're dropping that character, R-Truth, and they bringing back the heel Ron Killings.
well,
I'm with it.
I think that could be a good thing. And when you said it, I thought about it. I said, will they let him run with it? If they let him run with it, it's gonna be awesome.
There was also some very smart Mark guy back in the day that said that it would be interesting if Truth went heel, and that's the thing that turned John Cena face, because heel Truth is too intense. And the only thing that could stop heel Truth would be his childhood hero. But in order for that to happen, childhood hero has to go face. There was a crazy guy that said that. We'll see if that happens too.
Well,
because how else are you going to turn Cena face by the end of this? It's not going to be to save Cody unless it's saving Cody from R-Truth or from Ron Killings. Just think about that. What could it be to turn Cena face by the end?
Yeah, he would have to end his career as a face.
Yeah, and the only way to do that,
end as a heel.
The only way to do that, because I don't see any catalyst right now for heel, official heel Cody. But Ron Killings,
no time soon for that.
Yeah.
No,
Ron Killings can make that happen, and that transition to give him, he can still drop the belt somehow, but we'll have Cena go out the better way. That's how I would book it. But stranger things have happened. Hopefully, it comes out of the fact of they're watching the Nubian Sumo's birthday extravaganza, So hopefully you've enjoyed looking at exclusively the Nubian Sumo for I don't know, just about an hour.
Well, can I give Nubian Sumo a birthday gift before we go?
Go ahead.
First, thank you, Anthony, for subbing to the channel. Appreciate that. Lot more where this came from, but to give Nubian Sumo his flowers, man, this is a great day. Great man was born this day. So I'm glad it's your birthday. I hope you celebrate for the rest of the weekend, live it up. And just to get you started for the rest of the night,
Well, yeah, that does it for me. That does it for me. All I got to say to that is diversify your Nubian Sumo bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.